Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to Talk PL. With less than 12 hours to go for Premier League to start, it's high time we do the last minute changes and make sure our team entering game week 1 is perfect. Today I have Mahmoud joining me. Mahmoud, you have anything to say to the viewers?
Yeah, I guess better late than never. I hope this enlightens some people to do the last minute changes that everybody usually regrets. But hopefully, after watching this video, you won't regret your last minute changes.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. So I, I'm following a more of a defensive approach in my lineup. So I'll be going with 4-3-2 formation. How about you?
I'm going with a more balanced formation actually. So I'm going for the 4-4-2. I remember from last year, more people were going for the 4-5-1. Uh, since there hasn't been that many consistent strikers. This year, most of the big teams have been buying new strikers, so people want to bet on them.
Hmm.
But let's see where that goes.
I would have followed the 5-4-1 formation, but with Jesus performing the way he is, I had to force him into my lineup. So that's one of my strikers for sure.
Yeah, I think definitely Jesus is one of the most consistent players to be picked preseason after the performance he did preseason.
I swear he has a selection rate of 76%. So
I would have not imagined that in a
yeah,
million years.
that's mad. Um, so in this session, what we are thinking of is showing you our lineup and give a little of a bit of a justification on why we're going with our selections. So I'm gonna go first, and Mahmoud, then you can share, like, talk a bit about your formation afterwards. Sounds good?
Yeah. Do you want to zoom in?
Zoom in, sure. Here. So for my lineup, for in my post, I'm having no one other than Allison for the rest of my season. I'm not planning of changing my keeper. I think Liverpool is pretty solid in their defense, and Allison's gonna have a lot of clean sheets. I do see frequent bonus points coming towards him as well, so he's my pick. I was in a debate between him and Ederson, but I do want to have the flexibility of picking three on-field players from City. That's why I'm going with Allison. As my backup keeper, I have selected Danny Ward. I know it's going to be a might be a weird choice, but he had a phenomenal preseason with Wales, and with the rumors of Schmeichel leaving to going for Nice, I think there's this chance that he becomes the first keeper for Leicester. So if my backup keeper gives me occasional points, it's going to be a great pick for when I put use bench boost.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised that Schmeichel staying for another season.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as much as I have respect for that guy, considering FPL, I want him to leave at this point.
Mhm.
Hopefully he does, and my selection pays off later on. So, like I said, I'm going with a more of a defensive formation. So clearly, I have five defenders starting in game week 1. Very first, I have James from Chelsea. He has been one of those right backs who's been pretty attacking minded. So I do see him getting those occasional assists. In terms of clean sheet, Chelsea plays five-man defense, like three center backs with wing backs. So I do see them holding back, and like Tuchel has been investing a lot in defense.
As
So
much as I want to bet on James and Tuchel, but with the way the Chelsea new defense is coming up, I feel
mm,
like they need some time to build that chemistry again that they had 2 seasons ago.
I do have that fear. I wouldn't lie. Considering the Rudiger leaving and Christensen leaving, they do have a couple of new faces who's trying to squeeze in. But to what I've heard from rumors, Aspilicueta will be switching to a centre back now, eh, alongside Thiago Silva and Koulibaly. So if that
Interesting.
happens, that would bring some sort of stability there. And then we have Chilwell, and there's a rumor that they are signing Cucurella as well. So If that's the case, I do see them having a pretty solid defense. So if they do successfully sign Cucurella and then they have this lineup, I think I'm going to double up on Chelsea defense because these are good five names to defend. Next, I have is the guy you cannot go without, Arnold. This guy has been one of the best defenders throughout the game for the last couple of seasons. Well, especially last season, he was what one assist shy behind Mo Salah for the Golden Ball, and plus it's Liverpool defense. They will get a lot of clean sheets. And game week one, they're going against Fulham. I don't see Fulham doing much against Liverpool. It's gonna be really unlucky they concede one, but then again, he takes free kicks. He's there with Salah taking those random shots. He scored one beautiful goal with City. So yeah, you cannot go wrong with Arnold. Then I have his fellow, well, rival, Cancelo. Cancelo, again, similar to Arnold, is pretty attacking minded. He does all those regular process. He takes those random long shots. With Cancelo and Arnold, I think at this point of game, along with Mo Salah, these two has to be there in anyone's lineup. I might be wrong. If you have anything to say otherwise, sure. But I'm pretty sure Arnold and Cancelo is staying in my team, no matter who they're facing. For the fourth choice, I have Zinchenko. I
I'm
was,
actually quite surprised with that one.
yeah, I myself am. I was debating if Tierney is going to start over Zinchenko or not, but Tierney shows that he's injured or has lack of fitness, and Zinchenko.
Generally, out of the wing backs from Arsenal, I don't expect much more than a clean sheet if they even get one.
Well, with my defenders, my goal is for them to have a clean sheet.
Hmm.
Assists are like bonuses for me. So even if I get like five clean sheet from my five defenders, I'll take it. So I'm not like tier like Zinchenko is what 5 million. I would have gone with Kyle Walker, but I didn't want to double up with City defense as they're facing West Ham. I might later switch to double City defense, but for now I'm gonna stay with one at least for game week one. And my last defender is going to be Trippier. They have a really easy couple first 2 weeks. They're facing Nottingham Forest and then Brighton. So I'll switch him on game week 3 for sure, or he goes to bench. But for the first 2 weeks, I'm gonna play him because I have this like I'm 90% sure they're getting two clean sheets there. And similar to Arnold, Trippier takes most of their free kicks, so he could get those random assists where someone heads it in, or even better if he just scores a direct free kick goal, right? For my midfield, it's gonna be no one other than Saka. Saka, as much as I don't want to say this, I think he's gonna do phenomenal this season. Arsenal has been in great shape, and with the addition of Jesus now, they have kind of got some structure up front, which they were lacking last season with all the situation going with Aubameyang and Lacazette. There was no one main man, and then Nketiah came at the end. So I think they are in a better shape this season, and they are competing for Champions League, and they'll take it pretty much. I see them going there. Now the debate is, in my opinion, I'm gonna shoot it out before game week one. I see Chelsea out of top four and Arsenal replacing them in top four.
That's quite of a bold take there.
I'm just making a prediction out there. Hopefully, I'm correct at the end of the season.
See, I can see it coming as Arsenal team is no longer like just a youngsters
Hmm.
team. They're building the chemistry. They have built it already. We've seen it in the last few games in the season last year. I think they're coming up strong this season.
Hopefully, if I hope my bet pays off. I've gone three players from Arsenal, so let's see how that goes. Next in midfield, the person who's gonna be starting is Bailey.
Interesting enough, I see so many people picking Bailey as well.
The reason I picked him is because he's been the man in form for Aston Villa in their preseason. I
Yeah,
think he scored three and assisted two. And
yeah.
with with like them needing a main man or playmaker, I think he's stepping up big time. And hopefully he keeps performing through like as the season progresses. If not, in 5 million, I do have a couple of other options. There's this rumor that James Madison is going to Newcastle. If
Ooh,
he does, I'm not saying he is, then the person I'm thinking of replacing him with is just free halls. Duster. So if that happens, where is my midfield? So I see him replacing um, Bailey. If James Madison leaves, then he's going to be the playmaker for them. So that's my thought process behind picking him at least early on in the season. So Bailey for now, if nothing, then Disbury Hall can come back. So I'm gonna get rid of him, restore my actual player. Then in my third in my midfield and my captain going into game week one is Mo Salah. I don't have to say anything about him. Whoever doesn't have him will regret. Big words might it might be sound like big words that, but he has been proving that season after season, and at this point, I don't know if anyone has any doubts towards that.
I thought you were gonna go for Arnold, captain.
No, I thought of it, and but if for whatever reason Fulham scores one, whether it be lucky, whether it be penalty, whatever, I'm gonna lose two clean sheets, Allison and Arnold, and I can't afford not having some extra points coming out of Salah there. So I was thinking of going to more of a safe bet and take captaining Arnold, but I'll lose a lot if they concede them. So thinking of all those, I've gone with Salah being my captain. I do have a debate with one of my strikers, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But for now, it's Salah who's going to be my captain. In my bench, it's going to be Andres Pereira.
But
It's been
wait, so how are they gonna be your bench? You
because I'm following 3-5-3-2. So these are the starting midfielders for me: Saka, Bailey, and Salah. The other two would be my bench. For my first bench, I'm going with Andres Pereira. Again, I don't know why he was listed for 4.5, most probably because like the transfer happened pretty late, and
oh,
initially he was supposed to be sitting in the reserve of Manu, so he was priced at 4.5, but definitely there's going to be a huge deal as we move down the
how many people picked them? What's the
I
percent?
think he's pretty high, 25%. So one fourth of population has picked him, and he is gonna deliver. He's a regular starter for Fulham, and he's gonna like even if you like let's say I'm assuming even if you like sell him in a couple of weeks, you're gonna get some profit out of him.
Yeah, it's good for the bench at least.
Yeah, yeah, and he's a regular starter, so that those 2 points are coming at least. He won't
Hmm.
get a zero.
Yeah, good pick.
And then my other bench is Neto from Wolves. Again, 5.5. He'll be switching like occasionally with Bailey in my starting 11. So for game week one, it's definitely Bailey who's starting. But if depending on how Aston Villa like games are, I'll be switching Neto in my starting 11. But the rest pretty much stays constant. He's the I think he scored three and assisted three in preseason. With Jimenez injured, he's most likely to take the center forward position for Wolves. So if that's the case, I do see him getting a couple of goals there.
Mhm.
And for my forwards, of course, my Arsenal main man Jesus is there. I
I
don't.
guess so.
Anyone
Everybody has him at this point.
exactly anyone who followed the soccer throughout this preseason knows that there's not a more happening prospect at this point than Jesus. You have to have him like with his current form, it cannot go wrong having him in your team. You might actually suffer if you don't have him, considering he could be the differential if you don't have him in your team, right? And for my second striker, it's gonna be Harry Kane. Again, this is gonna be a huge debate because I have no space for Haaland in my team. I do think Haaland's gonna need a little bit more time to get used to City's style of playing, get the grasp of those tiki takas, those passings, and the controlling the game and all. He'll get there, I have no doubt. It's a map, but he's gonna take some time. Whereas Kane established, he is the main man for Conte. He has performed phenomenal since he became the manager. So I do bet on Kane over Holland at least for the first half of the season. I'm thinking of
Surprisingly, at the season where Nunes and Holland out there, you're still betting on Kane.
I did wanna go. I did want to bring in Nunes as well as my third striker, but it was like so difficult for me to squeeze in those fund.
Yeah,
But
so many people watching this would be like, why don't you just pick a 4.5 striker and just fit Son in this team?
I do have a 4.5 striker, and I have no fun to bring in Son for sure.
Yeah. Like instead of Kane, another 4.5.
I was thinking of bringing in switching between Kane and Haaland, considering they're the same price. So based off of what their fixture is like, I can easily switch between the two. But for Son, it's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, but I see definitely people who were playing last season would be like, I'm just gonna go for the 4-5-1, fit in Son and Salah, and I'm safe.
That's definitely an option. You can have Son instead of Kane for sure. And I don't know. I think Son is gonna get a lot of rest this season, considering that they're going for Champions League.
Mm,
I see Son and Kulusevski switching a lot with Richarlison and Lucas, and but pretty sure Kane is not going anywhere since Bergwijn left. So he might at times get replaced by Richarlison, but usually I see Son and Kulusevski getting subbed out early, especially that now that we have five subs starting this season, right?
mm,
So Conte is gonna rest those people who's running more and have some energy left for Champions League fixtures, right?
yeah.
That was my thought process behind it.
Yeah, the five subs would play a big role this season.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
many people will lose points just out of that.
I swear, especially it's a risky business, especially with the wingbacks.
And at this rate, you have to have your bench playing. Like you don't want to
Exactly,
sacrifice
exactly.
those 1 points coming off the
You
bench.
want to have at least one player in bench who's a regular starter.
I would say all bench gotta at least be subs.
I do consider my bench to be pretty strong. Like
Mm,
with Andres and Neto being in my bench, I can cover up to two players. My third striker is a 4.5 million striker Archer from Aston Villa. He did start play a couple of preseasons, and
yeah,
I didn't want to go with the norm of Greenwood because I think Greenwood price is gonna drop as people start to sell him later on in the season. So I was like, okay, let's go with a safer player, which is Archer, whose price won't is not well, I won't say won't, but is not supposed to go down. It's not going up for sure. It's most likely to stay constant.
Mm.
Um, there's Taylor from Nottingham Forest and Plunge from Crystal Palace. These are the three options I was thinking, but they'll they'll be my third sub. So at this point, it's like who's gonna maintain their price for me, rather than who's gonna give me points.
Mm.
But Andres and Neto are there to cover for my bench from my subs. So if two players are not playing, I think I have enough coverage there.
Yeah.
And with that, my start team would look something like this, where I have five defense, Salah. Again, it's a debate. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going. I'm switching between Kane and Salah being my captain. I do think, well, Salah has been performing in every game week one for the last three seasons. And considering that stat, I do want to go with him being my captain. But then again, Son is facing Southampton at home. And I don't know if if I want to take the captain's armband away from him. But having
Mm.
that said, for now, this is my lineup. My captain's armband might switch, but my lineup is pretty stable going into game week one. So yeah, let's see how many points I score with this. Mm,
Yeah, not a bad team for sure.
So how about what do you think about us seeing your team now, and you can give a like and see how it's different from mine, and maybe give us an idea of why you went with such choice, and
Yeah,
give
let
you
me
as
show
an option on
you.
like way to go.
Yeah, can you see my team?
Yes, I can see your
So
team.
yeah, it's kind of a hard choice here, but I went for Martinez for the main keeper,
Nice,
just to get that point 0.5 difference
interesting.
to my team to get Arnold in.
Are you planning of keeping him for long?
Probably after the first three games, I'm gonna have to take him off.
Mm.
Uh, he has a hard game coming up.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the fixtures here, we can see that he's getting West Ham, Arsenal, Man City, Leicester back to back, which is pretty tough games.
Yeah.
But for the first three games, he has easy games, I would say. So I would definitely keep him for the
I don't
first three
know.
games.
Is Crystal Palace an easy opponent for Aston Villa? That's a
I,
debate.
I I would say so. I would say so with Steve G and as a coach with the team they have right now. I think they can at least get the clean sheet against Crystal Palace.
Fair enough.
Might not beat them, but they might get the clean sheet, I think.
Fair enough.
But yeah, after the first 3 weeks, I will have to switch Martinez. Um, for the back keeper, I have Ward as well for the same rumors. Let's see if that can pay off. And then I picked James, which is a bit of a risky pick still,
I thought
because
you weren't going with Chelsea.
yeah, I don't trust Chelsea's defense at the moment for the first few games. Let's look at the fixtures they're playing. They have the first game is might be easy against Everton. Second game is Tottenham would be pretty tough.
Mm,
Then Leeds, Leicester, Southampton are all right, but then yeah, I wouldn't trust Chelsea's defense in the big games, which is the second game against Tottenham. Would
mm,
be a bit of a tough to get the clean sheet, but if he gets an assist, would be nice. But he might be one of my first people to swap
uh-huh.
if I do. And obviously the guaranteed points machine,
Of course.
I Arnold. I think most people picking him. 59%. That's pretty high. And for my bench, I picked Ed Williams. Again, another starter from Nottingham Forest. Just guaranteed points if he had to be subbed in. And he's picked by 28%, which is pretty big portion for such a name. The second guaranteed assist and my defense is Cancelo, of course. He did an amazing season last year. Goal scoring, assists, everything, you name it. He was a machine, absolute machine last season. He had 1 goal, 11 assists. And yeah, so I think Cancelo and Alexander-Arnold are must pick for the back defense.
Are you planning on keeping them for the rest of the season as well?
As long as they have easy games, I think I'm keeping them for the full season. City have a bunch of easy games except the first one. And
I
after
see that
that,
as an easy game as well. I don't know why.
I think they can easily beat West Ham,
And
United
I
at
was
the moment.
sad that I'm not being able to squeeze in a Grealish in my team because
Mm.
I think that it's going to be his season finally. He'll live up to that over.
People want to bet on him, surprisingly, even though he didn't really deliver anything to look at, even preseason.
Let's see. Let's see. I might bring him in for Saka later on.
Yeah, and then I have Dalot from Manu. I have to reprint for my Manu players. It's not picked by too many people, only 4.7%.
I don't know.
Uh,
That's a risky
but
move.
for his price and for what he did preseason, I think he's okay.
But you're
No
going with
one
a
knows.
risky move with Manu defense, aren't you?
Yeah, it's kind of risky, but I don't know. I believe in Eric Ten Hag that the first thing he's going to fix is guaranteed clean sheets, and then he's going to go from there. I don't think the team is going to score too many goals until they actually guarantee they get the clean sheet. But whether Wan-Bissaka or Dalo going to start, I think Dalo is going to start for the first few games. They might sub in every game probably with the 5 subs, but let's see where it goes from here. For the midfields, we definitely have Saka. Again, another points machine from last season. 11 goals, 9 assists last season. Picked by 22% this season. He's definitely a must at this rate. And the second surprise here for his, of course, for his preseason performance is Petty.
I like
You
that
also
pick.
have him.
I
You
like
have
that pick.
these two. And Salah, I really don't need to speak for him. 23 goals, 14 assists last season, top scorer, top assist.
You just can't go wrong with this guy.
Yeah, he's just he's a hacker for FBL basically.
I swear, it's a cheat code.
Yeah, Sancho, it's for his
Interesting.
price pretty
So
expensive.
you're doubling up on Manu.
Yeah, 2 players from Manu. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, he's definitely an expensive player. I wouldn't say cheap. 10% people pick them. It's not a bad number for the amount of.
Do you think he's a better pick than Grealish this season?
I think so. I think so. I really think so.
Nice.
I don't think Grealish will perform as well as Sancho this season.
Interesting.
And
That's a big statement.
people can put in the comments what they think.
That's actually a good statement, and I do see some people thinking otherwise.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see after the first 3 weeks. Got Andreas Pereira, of course, also for the same reasons. Cheap, easy sub in when you need. And then for the attack, got Jesus, of course,
Nice.
for his preseason
So
performance.
you're one of those 76% people.
Yeah, you gotta be, man. You gotta be. 76%. It's crazy. I never imagined it. And Haaland, which is a lot of people watching this will definitely be like, why did you pick Kane over Haaland, Kabir?
Interesting choice.
But yeah, don't
Bet
worry.
on
I got your
Haaland
back,
against West
everyone.
Ham?
I got your back, everyone. I have Haaland in my team as same as 44% of FPL players. We are betting on Haaland. I think Haaland is not going to perform in the big games, but I think he's going to perform in the small games. And yeah,
So
people can
you
correct
think like he
that.
has a better chance of scoring against West Ham in contrast to Kane against Southampton?
I would say so. I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say surprisingly, I would say so.
I do want him to succeed. I do want him to succeed. City has been lacking a proper striker for long.
Yeah, let's see. As much as I hate City, but with Haaland in my team, I would love him to shine. And I have Taylor as my third striker. He's picked by 11%, quite a big number. And yeah, he's just a guaranteed starter for Nottingham Forest,
A
which
guaranteed
is a
starter.
great team, but a guaranteed point off the bench
I
when needed as well.
So do you think he has a better chance of starting, getting those 2 points over Archer and like Greenwood and all those 4.5 million strikers?
Greenwood is not a bad pick as well. I wouldn't say Archer. I don't think Archer is going to start.
Hmm,
But yeah, I think Taylor is equally as good as Greenwood at least.
that's a bold statement. That's a bold statement.
But yeah,
Interesting.
that's
Who's
pretty much
so how are
the
you
team.
how are you lining up your team, and
Look at
who's going to be
that.
your captain?
Real just reminding us about the players we're not picking here.
Yeah,
Son, Bowen's machines from last season. De Bruyne, Madison.
I wanted Grealish and Bowen so bad in my team. It's just that I have to sacrifice either Arnold or Salah, and I didn't want to touch either of them.
Yeah, I really want Son, honestly. I really want Son. But yeah, I would have to touch Haaland for sure to get him.
Yeah. So how like what's your formation gonna look like into game going into game week one, and who's gonna be your
When we
captain?
look at my formation for the first week, if we go to big team here, you can see Martinez for the post, Cancelo, Arnold, Dallo, and James
Ah,
for the defense, Salah, Saka, Bailey, Sancho for the midfield, Jesus and Haaland for the attack. Yeah, it's pretty solid formation. I'm
Salah
going
got
for.
your armband as well. Nice.
So
Salah's got your armband.
yeah, just it's a less risky option at this point with everybody captaining him. I can't go against the crowd for the first week at least.
You're playing it safe, I see.
Yeah, I think every most of majority of people would be captaining him.
Hmm.
I wish they can tell us how many people are captaining him.
That would actually
We
be a
have
good
to,
feature, but
we have to wait
that
until tomorrow.
that could just make the game a little bit more less exciting as well. Like if you just go with the crowd and you can never go wrong with it.
Yeah, true.
Interesting. Those are some interesting choices.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what's your picks. What would you pick if you were us? If you were to modify one or two players out of each one's formation or squad, what would be your picks? Let us know if we did something stupid. But yeah, that's our teams. Let's see after the first week how many points each one will get.
Yeah, that'll be. I hope we get at least 70 points in game week one because that gives you a good start.
Mm.
Because game week one is more like those wild cards where you pick whatever you want, and you
Yeah,
just don't want to score less.
yeah. Will we give a gift or something for anyone who gets the highest points of the first week of people who share their points with us?
We surely should do that. That
We'll keep it. We'll think about it until next week,
Yeah,
but we will try to give something to the highest points. So anyone in the comments, try to tell us how many points you get after the first week. That way, in the second week video, we can plan something out. So yeah,
that
don't forget to put your
I
points in the comments.
I think we can do that every week. Like whoever among the like subscribers gets the highest point in a specific week gets a gift card for like going into game week two and so on, game week three and four.
Yeah, that's a
Based
good
off
idea.
of your location, we can decide on what gift card to give.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
So thank you so much, Mahmoud, for showing us your lineup. I hope
Yeah,
everyone watching the video likes it and got some value out of it. And if they had some questions or doubts among 2 3 players, we were able to help them a little bit, at least decide on where to go. And we'll continue making these videos every week. We'll try to have more time in hand before we post. I know we got a little bit delayed. We were doing this last minute touches on us deciding what our team should look like. But moving from here point onwards, next week we'll at least have 24 hours before we go into the following game weeks, and it gives our viewers a little bit more time to watch and just have a discussion, maybe start a discussion in chat, or if you have any questions among who should be the right pick for the week, and maybe we can go from there.
All right. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you.
And see you next time.